All right, in this lecture what we're gonna do is connect an action to these buttons. So we created IB outlines for all these buttons from 0 to 9 and so on, and now we actually want to add an action whenever these are getting tapped. Okay, so go to the viewcontroller.swift and let's create this action. So if you scroll down before the last curly brace that's closing, okay, let me put this up a little bit so you guys can see it better. Before the last closing curly brace, right here you can press enter and start typing the new command or the new function. Okay, so it's a function, call it func, and we're gonna call it number pressed. Okay, because that's when this action is only going to get triggered when we click on a number. Okay, when the player or the user or the calculator presses a number, not any of the division, not the clear button, just the numbers from 0 to 9. Okay, so we're gonna put in parentheses what type of sender, so what or who is sending the action, and it is a UI button. How do we know that? Because that's what we want. We want a UI button. Put an exclamation point at the end, so it can only be a UI button that triggers this action, nothing else. Okay, all right, and here open a curly brace and close it and start typing what the action needs to be doing here. So here we actually just basically we need to store the number of the action that's getting triggered, because if you look in the main.storyboard, we want to save and remember which button has been clicked yet. Okay, whenever we do the operation, we want to keep in memory what was the last or what is the current button getting clicked. Okay, so go here and we need to create some kind of a variable that will store it. So under the IB outlet right here, we're going to create a variable, call it var current number pressed. Okay, and we will store the type of number that got pressed, and here we're just going to create an integer. Okay, so you guys probably don't know exactly what's an integer, but it's basically a whole number. Okay, so what we want to remember is what is the whole number that got clicked. Okay, so the numbers are from 0 to 9, so it can only be whole numbers: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's all we want. We don't want decimals or anything like that. Okay, so current number pressed. All right, so now that we have that, what we're going to do is right here we're going to say current number pressed equals, okay, so basically we're going to assign the value that's inside of the button, sender, because the sender is the button, dot tag. Okay, so basically what we're doing here is that we're taking the tag and we're assigning to the current number. Okay, oh, by the way, I have a typo, it's 2 R's for current. Okay, so I knew I had a typo because I had this red error that appeared here. Okay, so now we're assigning the tag to the current number pressed, and what we're going to do, we're going to print it to the console. We have a console here. Whenever you click here, you see a console that appears here. So right now we don't want to input, actually we can print straight to the label. Okay, so just for the sake of it, this is not the final, but we're going to actually add it to the label. Okay, so put label screen dot text equals, okay, and the label screen is this label, the blue one. Remember, guys, this blue one. Okay, so the label screen is going to get the value of the button that's getting clicked. Okay, so go back to the view controller, is equal to current number pressed. Okay, now this is not final because that's not just all we want, and it's going to complain because it's going to say this is not the right format. Okay, it needs to be in the format of a string, which is basically a text. It cannot be a number. Okay, it has to be text. So I will show you in the next lecture how to transform this into text. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next lecture.